Okay, PRE, just be honest. Say it for what it is. Yes, he would be considered corny. He would be predictable. He would be considered safe. Everything he said is right. A lot of women don't want safe. They want a man that basically every woman wants. I don't understand this logic. Never understand why a man or a woman would want somebody that everybody else has had. I don't get it. I don't know if it's because it's a challenge of being able to tame that person, and because everybody wants them, you want them too. But I've learned, I don't want a woman or a man that everybody wants. I don't. That everybody desires, because they're always going to have options. And with Wayne is going to always have options. But here's the thing. The one thing a lot of these men forget: when they were younger, a lot of these women didn't want them when they were broke. And that is the reason they act the way they do. Because a lot of these men know these females want their money. And some men are willing to spend, of course. But in the end, it's about sex. But in the end, he's never going to marry that girl. He never going to marry her. And then the one that is their ride or die, you know, that's the one that sometimes they'll end up staying with, and other times they won't. So like I said, he's right. He's the one that is safe. He's the safety person. He's the second choice. I told everybody that. Man, I had people arguing me to the ground when I said that Anthony was her second choice. That Amber really did not love Anthony the way she loved Wayne. Because if Wayne would have stood up at that wedding, best believe that he would have, she wouldn't have married him. She wouldn't have. Anthony was safe. Anthony was secure. Anthony was somebody she knew that wanted her, but she didn't want him in that same way. And Shayla called it. So like I said, I do see this from both sides. Amber did not want Anthony, but Anthony's the one that proposed. Anthony's the one that gave her that $20,000 ring. Anthony was the one that was going to give her the lifestyle that she wanted. But eventually, Amber would have gotten tired of it. She would have ended up bored, because if Wayne would have said that he wanted her back and that he wanted her, then she would have went back. She sure would have, just as easily. So again, a lot of women and men are self-sabotagers. They sabotage themselves. They'll leave somebody that's good for them for somebody bad. Bipolar. Bipolar. I keep telling people that. Some people are just bipolar and they are self-destructive. And I would probably have a lot of clients that I would have to say, you self-destruct yourself. Why? Because you know this person don't want you, but you want them. And that's why people got to stop wanting people that don't want you, wanting people that everybody else won't. Because it's a challenge. That's all it is. It's a challenge. It's just like a man that meets a girl that's a virgin and she's never been with anybody. To be the first, that's a challenge. And for everybody, it's about a challenge. To be able to pull something off that you never thought you could pull off. That's all it is. It's just like when men make bets about sex and stuff like that. It's just crazy, but hey, that's what they do. So I'm not surprised about the fact of that, but that's what they do. So I don't be surprised, when stuff like this happen and, women end up choosing men they know they don't actually want. But they'll deal with them anyway because of the fact that he is someone that is comfortable. He is someone that she know he ain't going nowhere. But yet these same women will still cheat on that man anyway. So there are a lot of women that will date a man just because of his status. Loss of Pippen is an example of that. And these men just keep on dating her, knowing what she did to Scottie Pippen. Like I said, some people are just their own worst disasters. They just are. And it's crazy how they are their own worst disasters. It's sad, but they are. They shouldn't be their own worst disasters, but for some reason they just seem to be. I don't know why they're their own worst disasters. I couldn't tell you, but they are their own worst disasters. So nothing surprises me when it comes to these situations. They just are their own worst disasters. So stuff like this don't surprise me when it comes to these men, or male or female. It don't make me a bit of difference. It's always going to be the same. You're going to have people out here that's going to date outside of what they should and be with people they shouldn't be with. Ain't nothing new. So like I said, this is why I say I don't like dating people that play Russian roulette. I don't date people that have a lot of people in their face. I don't date people when they tell me they don't want to be in a relationship. I leave them where they at. I do. Because here's the thing. By me building my own business and building my own brand, I'm not being with somebody because of image. I'm not being with somebody because image-wise, we look good together. That's not how I operate. And I'm not going to deal with a man that's insecure that is going to put their hands on me because of his issues. No. Whatever your issues is, you need to get therapy. Point blank, period. Please go get therapy because I ain't got time for none of this. So in the end, like I said, for me, I'm just in a different place, in a different headspace. But like I said, everything that Anthony has been saying, I've been telling people that's what it was. She married him because of the fact that he was, operative word, convenience. He was convenience. So like I said, does it make it right? No, it doesn't make it right at all, but it just is what it is, because this is how this works out. So with that being said, I'm going to go mind my business and enjoy the rest of my day. So yeah, I hope this helps, but no, she never wanted, she wanted Anthony at first, but she did say she was toxic, and Amber is.